All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krueg Show with a little 49er video as the Niners have a new offensive lineman. It's DJ Humphries. We'll talk a little bit about DJ coming up next. First, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. We're also brought to you by Sharp Corners, Sports Cards and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, on the Monterey Peninsula. Anthony Catania is at 831-521-5264. And we're also brought to you by Learn Key Upskill Academy, and the links are in the description below. We got great news for Krueg Show subscribers. Our sponsor, Learn Key, is offering a free cybersecurity course valued at $99. So check the link, click the link in the description of this video to claim your free course and start learning today at upskill.learnkey.com. Thanks to all of our sponsors for sponsoring the Krueg Show. All right, 49ers making some news today. They are signing the veteran defensive tackle DJ Humphries. Humphries is an interesting player. He's a veteran. We're going to share the screen here. You can watch him a little bit. This is off Coach Yak's Twitter. Thanks to Coach Yak for providing this footage. But DJ Humphries, interesting player, as I said. The guy has always been a leaner. He lunges and he leans and he can fall off balance in the run game. And that's always kind of been an issue. His hand placement's always been kind of an issue. That's always been an issue. But this is a big-bodied guy who, he had some great moments along the way where he showed big-time ability, and he's shown glimpses. See, that's really all Humphries has given football fans through the years. He's definitely, was an elite level prospect coming out of the high school ranks. He's got a superior athlete. He's got what I love about DJ Humphries, he will fight you. This guy's got a fight you kind of a mentality. He doesn't have the greatest technique. He doesn't have the greatest skill, but he's a fighter. And to me, that's one area that I really like about his game. This guy will fight you. 5.12 is what his 40 time was coming out, which was really good. 1.84 was his 10-yard split. Once upon a time, he benched 26 reps at 225. He had a 20-yard shuttle of 4.64. These are all when he was coming out of college. 6'5", 310 pounds, almost 34-inch arms, 10-inch hands. This guy's been around the block. He's played a lot in the NFL. And to me, he's an interesting guy to look at for the 49ers. That was the one spot really that went filled. They never found themselves a tackle at any point in this draft. And that's, to me, was obviously they had a real need there for a tackle. So I kind of like Humphries, but I like the player that he used to be. He's 31 now. He was a first-round pick in 2015, 24th pick overall. He made it to a Pro Bowl in 2021. He was a Cardinal from 2015 through 2023. He played with the Chiefs in 2024. He only played 92 snaps last year, and he was hurt, and he wasn't really all that effective. So we'll see. He made 2 starts for Kansas City last year. He allowed 3 sacks and 11 pressures in those games. So this is where you're at, right? When you get to this point in the football personnel offseason, there are no good answers. Especially when you're looking for an offensive tackle. So if the 49ers had prioritized an offensive tackle in the draft, maybe in round 2 or round 3, then they wouldn't be making this move, but they were kind of forced into this move because they just couldn't find an offensive tackle. Now, I do like Connor Colby, and maybe DJ Humphries can be a 1-year stopgap at tackle and play the swing tackle role. I will say this. When the Niners were talking about, filling different roles in the draft versus free agency and how they were looking about rebuilding their roster, this always, to me, was going to be a spot potentially for a veteran, especially once you decided you didn't want to go day 1 or day 2 O-line. When you decided you weren't going to go day 1 or day 2 O-line, the day 3 rookie offensive tackle, compared to even middling, veterans like DJ Humphries who've been around the league, it's just it's not as comparable. I mean, you're going to get your quarterback killed if you go with rookies and guys who are unproven. I'd almost rather go with a veteran with skills that are declining, who at least has some experience over the the big ball of clay, and just hope that Chris Forster can somehow turn this guy into something before your quarterback gets destroyed. I mean, if things go well, your swing tackle doesn't play. You got your starting left tackle's Trent Williams. He's one of the best in football. Your starting right tackle's Colton McKivitz. Only an injury would basically take your starting tackles out. So if you have an injury, you have to have a swing tackle. But once you don't have a real great young prospect, you'd almost be better with a veteran than just like a day 3 prospect who has maybe some athletic limitations, where he just can't stand up against NFL caliber players. Once upon a time, DJ Humphries had a good enough skill set to play tackle in the NFL and play at a decent level. He's never been a great player, but he would suffice as a swing tackle if they could get the best out of him. I don't know that we saw that last year in Kansas City. So, this is where the Niners are at. It's April the 29th, and they need an offensive tackle. When you get to this point in the season and you need an offensive tackle, that's not a good situation to be in. And if you're looking at some of the plays here from Humphries, you can see he can still move. It's not that he can't move. It's just that he's at this point, his balance is just okay. And he's never really been a guy who's going to finish blocks. But I love the fact that if you don't have the skills, at least give me a guy who's got a big body and is willing to fight. And that's what DJ Humphries has. He's got a big body, he's got a little bit of experience, and he's willing to fight. And as long as you got a big body and you're willing to fight, as a veteran coach, I'd be like, you know what? Give me that guy. Give me that guy. I got a chance. I can get through a half of football if I get a guy who's, been there before, has a big enough frame, and can just, what the scout said the other day about Kelvin Banks. If he can lose slowly, I can be just fine with DJ Humphries as long as he can lose slowly and not just whiff altogether. So we'll see. It's an interesting pickup. It kind of shows that the Niners are desperate for a tackle. It was one of the spots in the draft that, for whatever reason, they just could not hit. And so this is why you're checking out DJ Humphries. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krueg Show. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. Thanks to our good friends at LearnKey Upskill Academy. Hit like and subscribe on your way out. The links are in the description for all of our sponsors. And thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krueg Show on YouTube.